Before a nation was formed, before a flag was ever raised, a shadow moved across the rivers and forests of North America. Wings outstretched, eyes that, from hundreds of meters above, could detect the slightest movement below. It rose in silence, without a single wing beat, reading the thermal currents, understanding the wind, waiting for the precise moment. Then, the dive, not from haste, but from certainty. This is not merely a bird, it is the apex predator of northern skies. A creature once revered in indigenous myth, and later placed upon the seal of a superpower. A bird that returned from the brink of extinction and became a symbol of freedom. This is the story of the bald eagle. High above the skies of North America, a shadow stretches across the horizon, silent, composed, dominant. The bald eagle, Haliaeetus leucocephalus, is one of the most iconic birds of prey on the continent. A member of the sea eagle lineage, predators whose lives are intertwined with open waters, abundant fish, and endless horizons. This species comprises 2 recognized subspecies, and alongside the white-tailed eagle forms a species pair, 2 raptors separated by oceans, yet fulfilling a remarkably similar ecological role within their respective realms. The range of the bald eagle extends from the frozen landscapes of Alaska and the vast forests of Canada across the contiguous United States and southward into northern Mexico. It is most often found near large bodies of open water, lakes, rivers, coastal shorelines, where food is plentiful and old-growth trees provide secure platforms for its massive nests. The body length of the bald eagle ranges from 70 to 102 centimeters. Yet, it is the wingspan that commands attention. Between 1.8 and 2.3 meters. Wings that, when fully extended, seem to pause the sky itself. Its weight varies between 3 and 6.3 kilograms. And here, females are larger, approximately 25% heavier than males. A female may average around 5.6 kilograms, while males typically weigh about 4.1 kilograms. From the silence of the sky, such differences fade. What remains is the majesty of flight, a presence that has inspired humanity for centuries. The bald eagle is master of open skies, a powerful flyer, riding thermal updrafts with effortless precision, ascending without a single wing beat, carried by the rising breath of the earth. In level flight, whether gliding or in steady wing beats, it travels at speeds between 56 and 70 kilometers per hour. When carrying a fish, clutched in its talons, its speed averages around 48 kilometers per hour. But in the decisive moment of a hunt, when focus narrows to a single target, it may dive at speeds between 120 and 160 kilometers per hour. Migration patterns vary according to geography. If open water remains accessible within its territory, the bald eagle may remain year-round. But when winter freezes rivers and lakes, and food becomes scarce, it moves southward or toward coastal regions. Some populations, particularly juveniles, disperse after the breeding season. Florida eagles, for instance, may wander northward during summer. In choosing migration routes, the bald eagle is strategic. It selects pathways that maximize thermal currents, rising winds, and feeding opportunities. During migration, it may spiral upward within a column of warm air, then glide silently downward across vast distances. or harness ridge updrafts created as wind strikes cliffs and uneven terrain. Migration occurs primarily by day, often between 8 in the morning and 6 in the evening, when the sun transforms the sky into the world's greatest borderless highway. Above open water, the eagle's gaze locks in place. Focus, calculation, and then descent. It drops toward the surface, talons extended, and in a flash lifts a fish from the water's skin. When feeding, it grips the prey firmly with one foot, and with the other tears flesh in precise, deliberate motions. On its toes are small projections known as spicules, roughened structures acting like microscopic hooks to secure the slippery catch. An adaptation shared with the osprey. The bald eagle reaches sexual maturity at 4 to 5 years of age. When ready to breed, it often returns to the very region where it first took flight. A return to birthplace, to origin. This species exhibits remarkable fidelity to its mate. Most pairs remain together for life, yet if one partner dies or disappears, the survivor will choose another. And if breeding attempts repeatedly fail, even this bond may dissolve. Courtship is a spectacle of strength and synchrony. The male performs elaborate calls and breathtaking aerial displays, sudden dives, chases, spiraling climbs. At times, both birds rise high into the sky, lock talons, and plunge in a dramatic free fall. Moments before impact, they release. A test of trust, a declaration of union. A mated pair defends a territory extending 1 to 2 kilometers along waterfront habitat. Unlike many raptors that nest later in spring, the bald eagle is an early breeder. Nest construction, or reinforcement, often begins by mid-February. Egg laying typically occurs in late February, sometimes amid heavy northern snowfall. Incubation continues from mid-March through early May. Chicks hatch between mid-April and early May, and by late June or early July, they take their first flight. Yet perhaps the most astonishing feature is the nest itself. The largest nest of any bird in North America, built of massive sticks, high in large trees near water, used year after year with new material added annually. Over time, these structures may reach depths of 4 meters, diameters of 2.5 meters, and weights approaching 1 metric ton. In Florida, a nest was recorded at over 6 meters deep, nearly 3 meters across, and weighing approximately 3 tons. The largest tree nest ever documented for any animal species. Yet such monumental constructions are not eternal. Some collapse in storms. Others break their supporting branches under sheer weight. Many last fewer than 5 years. Bald eagles typically lay between 1 and 3 eggs per year. 2 eggs are most common. 4 are rare, often the result of exceptional circumstances. But within the nest, equality is not guaranteed. It is uncommon for all 3 chicks to survive to fledging. The larger chick, with greater size and louder calls, commands more attention from the parents. And at times, as documented in many large raptors, competition turns violent. The stronger sibling may attack and kill the weaker one, especially in the early days when size differences are most pronounced. Yet nearly half of successful bald eagle nests fledge too young, and on rare occasions, 3 survive. A remarkable rate compared with certain Aquila eagles, where the second chick rarely endures. Both male and female share incubation duties, though the female contributes more time on the eggs. The off-duty parent hunts or gathers materials to reinforce the nest. During the first 2 to 3 weeks after hatching, at least one parent remains almost constantly at the nest. After 5 to 6 weeks, direct attendance declines. The adults perch nearby, watchful, but gradually more distant. Growth is extraordinary. A chick may gain up to 170 grams per day. By 8 weeks, they are strong enough to lift their feet from the nest platform and rise briefly into the air. Between 8 and 14 weeks, they fledge. Yet for up to 6 more weeks, they remain near the nest, dependent, but increasingly independent. Roughly 8 weeks after first flight, they gradually disperse from their parents. Then begins a period of wandering. 4 full years of searching, of ranging across territories, of learning survival, until the dark plumage of youth gives way to the white crown of adulthood. From a trembling chick on a high branch to an apex predator of the skies. It takes 4 years for that white head to emerge. Nature never rushes the making of a symbol. The bald eagle lives, on average, about 20 years in the wild. Yet some surpass that mark. The oldest confirmed individual reached 38 years of age. In captivity, longevity may extend further. In New York, one eagle lived nearly 50 years. As with body size, average lifespan appears influenced by geography, by prey availability, and by territory security. Today, no longer subjected to widespread persecution, adult mortality rates remain relatively low. In a study of Florida eagles, annual adult survival was reported at 100%. In Prince William Sound, Alaska, even after the Exxon Valdez oil spill, annual adult survival was recorded at 88%. But life does not begin equally for all. The greatest mortality occurs in the first year. Only about 50% of fledglings survive their initial year of life. The bald eagle is more than a predator of the skies. It moves between 2 worlds. Among many native cultures of North America, it is a sacred being. Its feathers, like those of the golden eagle, hold central roles in ceremonies, in rituals, in spiritual traditions. In some beliefs, the eagle is a messenger between the human world and the divine. A flight that to us is simply hunting becomes a sacred connection. Then history chose another path. The same bird, with the same outstretched wings, took its place on the Great Seal of the United States. From indigenous myth to the emblem of a superpower. One bird, 2 worlds, one spiritual, one political. Its image stamped on coins, printed on postage, etched into official seals and federal insignia. No longer only a dweller of cliffs and rivers, it became the face of a nation, a symbol of strength, of freedom, of endurance. And yet, behind the official emblem, still stands the same ancient bird that once carried prayers toward the sky. The bald eagle is the national symbol of the United States. In 1782, it was adopted as the nation's emblem. For years, it was informally regarded as the national bird. Until, in 2024, Congress formally recognized that title. The founders of the United States looked to the Roman Republic as a model for their new nation. In ancient Rome, the eagle, often the golden eagle, was a symbol of authority. On June 20th, 1782, the Continental Congress approved the design of the Great Seal of the United States. At its center, the bald eagle, wings outstretched, clutches 13 arrows in one talon and an olive branch with 13 leaves in the other. The arrows represent defense, the olive branch, peace. Since then, the eagle has appeared on the presidential seal, the presidential flag, and the insignia of numerous federal institutions. Between 1916 and 1945, the presidential flag depicted the eagle facing to its left, the viewer's right. This detail gave rise to an urban legend that in times of peace, the eagle turns toward the olive branch, and in times of war, toward the arrows. The reality is less theatrical, yet the image endures, not only as an official seal, but as a cultural icon, a symbol of strength, of freedom, of national identity. A bird that is both a predator of the skies and an emblem stamped upon a nation's history.